Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 11th of the 11th 2022, which is actually Remembrance Day here in Australia, remembering the fallen. Now 11/11 is quite significant. I know for a lot of you guys out there, we get a lot of synchronicity in numbers, and I know 11/11 is one of those numbers that tends to come up for a lot of us. Not all, but a lot of us. So if you are new, please subscribe. Hit the like buttons, guys, as well. I hope everybody's going okay at the moment. There's just so much going on globally. I think I did predict there would be a lot of strikes and protests this month, and it's already starting. It's definitely happening, and thank you guys for letting me know what's going on where you guys are living, because otherwise we wouldn't hear here in Australia, because as we know, no protests make it to TV unless they're the climate change protesters that, like we talk about, seem a little bit staged to keep the focus on climate change. So thank you for sharing your info with me and everybody else here, so we can all sort of keep up to date with what's happening globally, because we really do not know. We only get fed, as we know, what the mainstream media tells us. So I'll close my eyes, we'll get started, and we'll see what comes up. Oh, and just to let you guys know too, the Medibank hacking scandal is just getting out of control now. The hackers, I keep talking about this big hacking thing that's going on here in Australia. It's about the third company that's been hacked by these so-called hackers, apparently. And now, yes, Elbow's actually stepping in to see why the company's not doing more about it. So Elbow is now starting to step up to the plate, but it's almost too late, because unfortunately all the data has been released. Bits and pieces of it, unbelievable. But anyway, okay, I'll close my eyes and we'll get started. Oh God, they're saying to me, oh, I've got to take my jumper off, guys. I'm hot and cold. I don't know what I am. They're saying that I get the flushes sometimes too. You know how it goes out there, you women that are going through menopause. People aren't warming to the climate change. They're not warming to the global warming. It's saying that people aren't actually falling for this. People are just thinking it's a bit of a load of nonsense. This is a lot of people. I would say this would be the sleepwalkers, not us, because we already know it's BS and garbage. But they're saying to me that these people are really questioning, like, is a lot of this true? And that's good, because we need them to have their doubts, because then they start, as we know, researching. That's definitely starting to happen here. Oh, and did I tell you guys? Yes, it's official. It's on the news here. The state of Queensland has highly recommended bringing masks back. It's really hot up there. It's like a very hot, coming into summer. It's at the top end of Australia that you should wear masks, because the fourth COVID wave has hit, and they're promising they won't shut the borders for Christmas. How can that even be talked about, honestly? So just to let you guys know, that's happening here. So people aren't warming to the global warming issues. So in other words, they're not embracing them. They're not taking them up. They're not completely convinced, which is good. That's what I'm getting. They're not warming to it. It's not feeling right. It's like I keep saying, it's their gut feeling. Something's telling them something's a little off. Just a little. Let's see where else we go today. Oh, I'm getting Meghan Markle today. Oh, she's just embarrassing the monarchy. Charles is like, so, they're just showing me Charles like going like this, like he's so embarrassed about her. He feels like she's dragging the whole royal monarchy name, like everything down. That's how it's feeling to all these royals. Even, they're showing even Kate and William are just like embarrassed now, and they're kind of they're showing me them like cutting her off. It's like, and I don't mean them cutting her off, they already have cut her off, haven't they? But they're saying cut her off like Netflix. They would love, these royals would love her to be off her podcast. They would love her, and we know Harry's got his big book coming out. God, what's it called? It's got some ridiculous name. But Harry's got his book coming out. And the royals, they're showing me that they're just over this whole like nonsense. They can't cope with it. Oh, well, I can't see those bridges being built back again. They just think she's yet another clown. But I'm getting that they'd love to just have the power to just cut off her Netflix. Off with her head, maybe that's what they're thinking too. But they're just sick of her just... Because it always, like, and as we all know here, it always gets back to them. So everything that's happened to her gets back to them. But the thing is, you know, which a lot of them, I think they discuss as well and talk about, is that she had a whole life prior to coming into the royal family. So a lot of things that happened to her aren't all caused by them, which, you know, you have to admit that is true, actually. It probably just tipped her over the edge. So I do feel they'd love to cut her off and silence her. Maybe that's someone that should be silenced, actually. She does talk. Oh, her ego's like this big. Her head's like this big, isn't it? She's a real strange one. Oh, anyway, it's all entertainment, isn't it? We know everybody loves a little bit of celebrity entertainment. So I am getting that Meghan Markle is driving them crazy, the royals. Let's see where else we go. Gosh, I'm getting sushi, and I'm getting that sushi's like, it's showing me him eating. It's showing me that he's finished his plate, but the plate's not a plate, of course. It's a silver platter. He's finished the plate. It's been cleared. So I would say he's cleared a lot of... We talk often here on this channel about the silver platters being the packages that the government is rolling out to the people and serving up on the silver platter. Well, I feel like Sushi's eaten his... had his fill, and he's emptied the platter off, and now he's going to clean it off and start again. It's like a new slate. So I feel like he's going to be implementing things that are more realistic for the people. He's going to have things that are going to be more well received by the people. It's going to sound a lot better for the people. Because we know when this trust did her, you know, decreasing the taxes for the elite, wasn't it? And all this kind of stuff that she did. It didn't really go down well, and it wasn't accepted by the people. So he's emptying the platter, and he's going to recreate it and then serve it up to the people. So he's coming up with a lot of different ideas, packages, schemes to help the people move forward. Look, and it's not all doom and gloom. I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom. We know there's a lot of trickery, and I often say that they do trick the people with their clever wording. But I do feel like he's gonna try as a government to pick up like the administration costs of doing things, and he's gonna try and pretend that he's helping to prop up the little people by government supporting them in well, they're going to be very small ways. But see, it doesn't matter, because people will still feel like government's supporting them, whether it's little or it's big. They think government's supporting them. We know how the sleepwalkers, a lot of them, think. They still think government is on their side and has their best interests at heart. God. Let's see where else we go today. God, I'm just getting Europe standing up. Europe's fighting back. They're not taking it. I keep getting that song, We're Not Going to Take It. And I think that was for the Netherlands farmers, was it? Or was it the Canadian truckers? Netherlands farmers? Anyway, I keep getting that song. And this is big. This is Europe. There's huge risings. There's lots of upstanding. People are fighting back. There's large crowds. And this could even be globally too. But there's large crowds in Europe. People are really making a stand. Honestly, isn't this ridiculous that we have to fight for our freedom and our lives? Sometimes I think about it and I think, how did we even get here? Like, how is this even happening? Well, it wears me out. I'm sure it's got to wear you guys out as well. It's just getting like crazy, isn't it? And beyond a joke. You know, battling and fighting for our human rights. Oh my goodness. Let's see where else we go. God, the guides are saying the next few months are going to be really difficult. And they're showing me like probably up to February. I'm getting that this is a turning point in history. I keep kind of saying that this is when the shift starts to happen. I often talk here about the scales tipping and how we're kind of in the middle. We're like the middle point as people who are awake and BS detectors. We're like the middle part of the seesaw or the balance scales, and the sleepwalkers are over here and the government is over here. So it's like, you know, things have been government's way for a while, but things are starting to tip. And they're going to reach a point where it tips the other way. It has to, because because as we always talk about, there's not that many elites that are really running this whole charade clown show, but there's a hell of a lot more people. So that if the people choose to fight back, which they're starting to, that can shift the energy. So that's why I'm getting the next few months are going to bring a really large shift. God, imagine being told you got to put masks on again. No thanks. I think we'd all just go, nah, I'm not doing it. Wouldn't we? You would have to get really tough, wouldn't you? And just go, no, I'm not doing it. And we'd have to all like come together and just really stay united for that kind of battle. Because we know they've all been passing their bills and their fines and all the things in the background. So that's what I'm getting for the next few months. There's going to be some really like big shifts in the balance, meaning they're going to go the people's way instead of all the government's way, which it has been for a few years now, as we know. So that's positive. I guess we have to look at it as a positive. I guess even just getting through Christmas and having getting together again with people is like a win for the people as well, because they're finally starting to get a bit of their lives back, aren't they? Let's see where else we go. God, they're showing me London Bridge again. We're getting a lot of England at the moment because there is a lot going on over there. And I think you've even got protests. Haven't you got nurse protests? Someone was telling me about the nurse protests over there. Well, I'm getting shown now that London Bridge has got shorter. Like, it used to be this very big, expansive bridge. This is what they're showing me. And this could be in regards to the royal, because London Bridge, as we knew, was the Queen dying. But I still get London Bridge as an image of the royals. Sorry, guys. Even the royals are tired of everything. I'm getting that London Bridge is like short now. It's not. And I would say, this is around Charles, that he's not as popular as his mother was, as we know. So he's got a smaller portion of the people. And that's what the bridge is kind of saying. Hence the egging of Prince Charles the other day, which did look a little bit staged. But it's showing me that. I don't know if any of you watched that video. I think it's on Carverton or something. And the woman screaming in the background, God save the king. Oh, she was squawking like a parrot. But that's what I'm getting. He's not as popular as the Queen was. He's got a much smaller group of fans or audience, maybe. A lot of people just don't like Charles. And it probably the whole Diana thing. But I am getting that the bridge for him is much smaller. Much smaller. Let's see where else we go. He's not a real popular guy over there. He's not. God, I'm getting people are feeling intimidated. showing me that this is the sleepwalkers. They're feeling intimidated and like lost in their madness. They're still trying to find their voice. Hurry up and find your voices. We need them to find them. That's what I'm getting for these sleepwalkers. They're feeling like they're going a little mad. And look, you do. When you become and you come over to the dark side and become a BS detector and realise that you've been lied to and all of it is garbage, you would feel like you're going a little mad and crazy, wouldn't you? Because you would think, oh, God, this is not reality. This just doesn't feel real. Well, that's what they're going through. And it keeps saying they've been in the denial bubbles, but the bubbles are popping now. I was saying that the other day. We need to go around and pop a few bubbles, don't we? And allow the truth to get into these people, but they are feeling a little bit mad, like, because what happens is they start to like, oh, how would you say it? They start to put things into a perspective, but then it sounds so outrageous, as we know here. The clown show sounds so outrageous that you start to think again, oh no, there's no way that could be true. There's no way, this is what a lot of them would be thinking, that our media has been lying to us, that the doctors have been lying to us, that our politicians have been lying to us and our leaders. It's very, very hard to accept that you've been lied to and you've had the wool pulled over your eyes. I mean, that's very, very difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. And not only that, but it's kind of embarrassing too, because then you feel like a fool. And I mean, we don't judge them. None of us judge them. We don't care. We just want them to wake up. But then they feel like a fool. Like, what was it, how did they manage to trick me like this? And then, of course, as we said, it makes them angry, and then their emotions come out. And then that's why I always say to you, and the guides have always guided us to steer clear clear of the people waking up, because otherwise we're going to be that, the one that gets attacked. Let's see what else there is today. God, I've been doing a lot of this lately. They're showing me pictures of us behind the fence, which is Wilson's world. We often talk about Wilson here from Tool Time, the show Tool Time, and how he looks out from behind the fence and just observes. Well, this is another good time to keep observing. The guides are giving you guys watching my channel the tip to just get behind the fence, head down and mow. So it's showing us just with our mowers, the Braveheart biker mowers, just mowing our lawns and just minding our own business. It's like on a Sunday when everyone's home and they're minding their own business and they're doing their mowing and they're just doing their own thing. That's us. We need to be doing our own thing. These next few months are really crucial to the shift. So it's very important that we just head down, bum up, keeping active. Like they're showing me, that's representation of the mower. I mean, I'm doing that twice a week at the moment here because we've had so much rain and the grass is growing. But we've got to, this is the image, just keep busy doing our own little thing. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you don't have to be mowing. But this is the image they're giving me. Stay behind your fence, stay protected. And I guess what they're also saying to me by the representation of the mower is that loud noise of the mower drowns out all the other sounds. It muffles out the sound. So you're just hearing the mower. That's what you're hearing. So your focus is just on what you're doing. You can't hear the la 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 and all that out there, and people kicking up a stink and striking back at government and all that, as much as we want to know what's going on. Not to forget that, though. We do share that with each other. But it's very important that we keep creating our own beautiful space. And that's the image of the mower that they're giving me today, is just to keep creating our own beautiful space and keep moving our life forward, and allowing things to grow. But then, it's using the word kind of manicuring. So you're keeping things looking nice and keeping your life feeling good, and that helps you to keep stronger as well. And it's the noise that will shut everything else out. And definitely keep the gate locked on your fence as well. The guides are saying, make sure you shut the gate behind you when you go into Wilson's world over here, which is where we hang out a lot. Make sure you lock your gate, because you don't want any intruders, meaning people, the sleepwalkers that are waking up, because you will get attacked. They will, because they'll get angry at us for highlighting to them like the truth, which we did a long time ago, didn't we? But they've been in the denial bubbles that it could be true, but it is true. Let's see where else we go today. And I keep saying it, people are scared, but they're not scared of the CV anymore. They're not. Oh, you get a little handful. We know that mass psychosis was very deep. And, oh, thank you, guys. Someone mentioned Dr. Drew. He interviewed Dr. Robert Malone about the mass psychosis. That was interesting as well. I've also got a video on the mass psychosis that I'll leave down here if anybody wants to understand how that actually worked and put people into this sort of hypnotic state around the jab. But, you know, people aren't scared of that anymore. It's like, well, they've had it. I said yesterday, they've all had it. They've all been jabbed for it. They're boosted for it. They've got God knows what. And it just keeps going on and on here. The gift that keeps on giving. But they're not scared of that anymore. People aren't as scared of that anymore because they kind of know, well, you know, we're all jabbed. We've got, in their minds, they think they got the immunity all under control and all that. Never talk about natural immunity though, will they? Well, but they're now scared of what's coming at them. And that's a good thing, because when they're scared of what's coming at them, meaning all the renewables, all the climate change, everything else, financial crisis, that's the stuff that's scaring them now. I would say, personally, CV would be very low down on the list now. I think you could tick it off right down low. It's a very little part of what these sleepwalkers are worried about, to be honest. Let me see if there's something to close with today. How's it, guys? They always give us the song, guys, don't they? Oh, they're giving me the quote, you know, build back better, which none of us can stand here on my channel. We can't stand it, can we? But they've given us the song, we built this city on rock and roll. I think I've had that before, haven't I? We built this city on rock and roll. So basically, music is very healing, and this is what the guides are saying. And music is a place that we find laughter, we find fun, we find joy. A lot of us here are very into music. I think that's why the guides like give us really odd songs. Look at yesterday's B-52s, like Love Shack, like what even is that? That's sort of that representation of our Terrabella, creating that fun energy and around our love shack, our little homes and our havens. But today I'm getting, we built this city on rock and roll. So I guess we just go and watch that film clip and see if there's any messages in there today. But we've sort of managed to build our own little city, haven't we? We've escaped from Clown World and we've journeyed to Terrabella, and that's our happy place now, and that's where we found peace and tranquility and some happiness vibes, I guess you could say. So I'm getting that song today, we built the city on rock and roll. There's a blast from the past as well, guys. Hang on, let me see if there's anything else to close with today. I'm just getting the guides are just saying like onward and upward, the shift begins. So I think we've got to just think of the seesaw starting to tip in favour of the sleepwalkers. Fingers crossed that's the next few months. Let's hope something comes from all these strikes and people protesting. Gosh, Brazil even had a massive strike over there. So fingers crossed there's more of it, guys. All right, I'm going to say goodbye. It's Friday morning here, so I'll try and get on either make another video tonight for Saturday morning. I'll see how I go. Or I try not to make too many with the doggos because, as you know, they're a little bit high maintenance and a tad disrupting. Oh, God. All right, have a wonderful day, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't hit the like buttons. Please comment down below. You know I love to hear from you, and I will always get back to you. It might take me a day or two, but I do get there in the end. And I will say goodbye from Australia. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.